And where are we headed now?
Okay, so now we're heading someplace that's kind of mysterious in a way because no one's quite sure how to talk about this place. Authentically Catholic, Holy Cross mission. They have schools, kids, and they have like pre-seminary training for older people. And they have really great results, and that's why we climbed Mount Kilimanjaro in the first place, was to try to draw attention to the Latin Mass movement around the world, but also specifically in Africa. So now we're going to go find out exactly what these mysterious men in Africa, these priests in Africa, are up to, and how they function, why they're prospering like they are. Last part of our sort of Catholic safari here is to get out there to Singida and find out what exactly is happening.
Thanks for the update. Michael Matt, special correspondent.
Absolutely.
Middle of effort.
Reaching the summit was a secondary goal. What was more important was raising funds for the cause to build this St. Benedict's House of Studies in Singida.
So beyond the climbing of Mount Kilimanjaro, the other goal that I had was to basically check out Singida. And that's the real reason, I came. I donated money, and before I donated any more or asked anyone else to donate, I had to make sure that this was the real thing.
Part 2 of this trip is to go to Singida, and there is where the House of Studies is. So we're going to be taking a drive there. Once we're there, we're going to spend a couple of days and kind of see all that's there, the House of Studies that we're working hard to build. We're going to see the school, the hospitals, and all that is in this traditional Catholic religious community.
Singida, first thing is the first Mass we went to. We had many of the novices and the postulants and the nuns themselves singing the responses to the Mass, very much devout.
It's beautiful, it was peaceful. Vespers Mass was probably one of the most beautiful Masses I've ever seen. All of these young nuns singing for God.
Visiting Singida was truly an inspiration, a revelation. There we met Father Antonius. Father Antonius is a visionary par excellence.
My name is Father Antonius Maria Mamseri. I'm serving the community as a Superior General of the Congregation of Missioners of the Holy Cross. Our mother founder was telling us our charisma will be the need of the church anywhere at any time. Where Jesus is suffering, when Jesus is showing his hands to ask for help. So here in Africa we are having a hospital mission. So we care for patients. Also, we care for education. Parents are looking for good education of their children, not only for the civil education, but also for their faith.
Good morning. How are you? Also fine.
Children that we saw in their school systems, there's both a boys' school and a girls' school, and then basically an orphanage. Just incredible, the devotion they had, the benefit they're having by being able to go to that school, just to lift themselves out of poverty and get themselves a bit of an education. And it was inspiring and hopeful, caused a lot of hope for us for the future.
Hey, wake up!
They haven't just set up a center somewhere that's kind of sweet and kind of cute. They're taking care of a few kids, and isn't that nice? They're changing the landscape here, the community here. They have parishes popping up all over the place. Convents, monasteries, schools for little kids, middle school kids, college-age kids, you know?
So there are people who are following what you are doing here, and they see so many of you, and they're very excited and very happy and very joyful because you represent the future.
So it's really hard to describe the impact that it has on you. You walk around and from one moment to the next, or from 1 hour to the next, one day to the next, you're discovering, wow, you have a whole other parish here. You've got a whole other educational center here. It's all Orthodox, solid Catholic.
The crops that they're growing, the homesteading they're doing, it's all a refreshing, simple life.
They're very self-sustaining. All the food that we had there was delicious and homegrown there. They have their own livestock. They've accomplished a lot there.
Christopher, once our friend visited us, and he was motivated when he saw that we need to start a house of studies for the seminarians who are finishing the low level, ordinary level. And then to go to somewhere to study more to prepare for the priesthood. There's no a place. So we need to buy a place, we need to build houses and to look for water, to look for this needs money.
If you go online and you try to find out what the St. Benedict House of Studies is all about, you're not going to find a lot, because they absolutely, the priests here, especially Father Antonius, they have put their trust and their hope in God completely. So there's no elaborate fundraising schemes, there's no fancy website. Kind of hard to find out what's going on from the internet. So when you come here and you take the tours and you go out to see what they're doing, it's not like they have this idea, if you give us a bunch of money, we're going to build this great thing, we'll build it and they will come. It's already happening. They're not trying to do a fundraiser. They're just trying to do God's will. And it's an explosion of faith and vitality and youth and vocations and so forth. So all I would say is I've gone there, I've seen it, it's already happening. It's not in the potential, they're already doing it.
We saw the building under construction. It was nice to see it actually taking form. Gratifying to see our fundraising put to good use.
Everyone there was hard at work. They're making their own bricks.
Amazing.
All day from 2 a.m. to the afternoon.
Totally self-sufficient, amazing.
Seeing St. Benedict's House of Studies made my heart leap. You can see it all taking place, and Father took us around and he showed us, well, this is where the guests are going to be, and this is where the brothers will be. And then he showed us the miracle. He said, if we find water here, it means God is telling us that this is the place to build the House of Studies. They dug 57 meters and they struck mineral water. Plenty for the whole operation there. Once they did that, Father knew this is the spot.
You drank like an elephant, a lot.
And apparently, it is the money that we've raised that has been instrumental in digging that well and starting the foundation. So we've got to continue in our endeavors to supply him with the funds so that he can continue with his construction. And he has no doubt that God will provide, but we are the instruments. He showed us drawings that he had made, his vision of what the seminary was going to be like, of what the future church for the seminarians was going to be like.
The shape is our emblem, the cross of our Lord. And in the cross you saw the psycho. The psycho is the Eucharist. The plan is to continue, and then we move to there. Seminarians who are ready to start their studies as philosophy, theology, they will move there. And at the same time, if the donations come in once more, so we'll build a second building, as you saw from the drawings. The kitchen, chapel, the bedrooms. That's where we are now.
St. Benedict House of Studies will provide, even for poor African students, a possibility to learn the authentic, traditional Catholic faith, theology, the beauty of the Holy Liturgy, the spiritual life. And this gives hope for not only for Africans, but for the entire church.
Europeans sent missionaries to Africa a long time ago. I would not be at all surprised to see, even in my lifetime, but certainly in the lifetime of my children, where the traditional Catholic African missionaries are going to be in our country, saving us and helping our kids and grandkids keep the faith. I can't tell you what it was like to get up pre-dawn, before the sun was up, go down to the little chapel and see, 250 young girls from the school there with another 50 nuns and the traditional Latin Mass going on before the sun even came up. They're singing their hearts out, and just to stand there and go, wow, this is something that cannot be undone. This is going to have ramifications for years and years and years. Solid education in the faith, love, joy, happy kids that intend to do God's will here in Africa, and it's a lot of hope for the future. Obviously for the church in Africa, but for all of us back home, lots of hope. Reason to keep praying and support the really good work that's going on here.
To sum up, I would say that I have been privileged to be with the 9 Americans, wonderful people, energetic and full of zeal for the mission. I feel privileged and honored as a lone Canadian to have been a part of this endeavor. And I would strongly recommend anyone who is hearing about the work that Father Antonius is doing to support it, because he's working miracles.
So what I'll be able to tell my family and friends is that the Catholic faith is alive and well in Tanzania in general and Singida in particular. This trip was amazing. I've never been in Africa before. I had my own preconceived opinions. Some were accurate, some were not. Extreme poverty, primitive living that still exists, and we saw some great faith and great opportunity for the Catholic faith going forward. Something to behold, really, and it was an experience I'll never forget.
It was the best that I could have imagined. Both Singida and Kilimanjaro were fantastic.
It was amazing to do this climb and this pilgrimage and to proclaim the reign of Mary as the Queen of Heaven. And it was one of the greatest feats I've ever done in my life, and I couldn't have done it without God and Our Lady.
Well put, I can't top that. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad it's over.
It was a dream come true. I couldn't have asked for a better group of men to climb with. I couldn't have ever dreamed that a traditional priest would have been celebrating Mass with us at every step of the way. It was just a dream come true.
I've received a lot of graces. I've been able to do a lot of penance for all of my crimes and sins, and I've been able to pray for my family, and I'm just walking away feeling like I was on a retreat. So as I fly back home on the plane, I'm so thankful to Our Lady, so thankful to the team, to the climbers that climbed with me, and I'm looking forward to seeing the finished St. Benedict House of Studies. I can honestly say that step by step, we're building the reign of Mary. May the reign of Mary come. Adveniat Regnum Mariae.
Thank you very much. In Swahili we say, asante sana. You did it without knowing us first. You just heard about us and you started doing. This shows your good heart. Now you saw yourself why you are donating and for what and where, and the start of the work already you saw it. I can't say another word because to say more, it's to miss the words. So I say thank you.